For everyone, Los Angeles is the mecca of movies. But Los Angeles is also fashion, gastronomy, music, and today more than ever, art. Naturally, in this town, each of these excellences is intimately bound to cinema. This extraordinary installation by Chris Burden is called Urban Light. It's made up of 202 historical streetlights, entirely renovated, and every day it is visited by tourists from all around the world. It's also one of the movie sets of No Strings Attached, and more exactly where Oscar winner Natalie Portman turns down Ashton Kutcher. However, this installation is first and foremost the main icon of one of the most respected museums of the world, LACMA. A museum is a place where you should lose your head. This is how Renzo Piano describes this treasure chest that encloses the history of the world. The Los Angeles County Museum of Arts, better known as LACMA, was inaugurated in 1965 and takes the visitor on an art journey through time and countries, always keeping an eye on the extraordinary cosmopolitan spirit of the city of Los Angeles. From African, pre-Columbian, and West Asian art to modern and contemporary art, from European painting and sculpture to German expressionism, all the ways to fabrics, drawings, prints, and photography, works of immeasurable value. I'm here with Michael Govan, director of LACMA, the most amazing museum in Los Angeles, and his beautiful wife, Catherine Ross. Michael and Catherine, since you guys have moved from New York to Los Angeles, you've given a whole new meaning to the word art.
The whole idea of LACMA is to have enough things on view that it doesn't matter what you're interested in, you'll find something that you like at LACMA, which is not just contemporary art. We have art going back to thousands of years BC, is that it doesn't matter where you come from or what your culture, there's something for you here. So the idea is the identity of the museum maps to this global identity of Los Angeles. So local and global come together culturally. So I called Robert Irwin, who I'd worked with, and we decided to develop a garden of palm trees and worked with Renzo Piano to create this plaza in the model of a European plaza. Chris Burden supplied the Urban Light sculpture that's now on probably one of the most photographed objects in Los Angeles. I think we're the 4th most Instagrammed museum in the world, partly because of Urban Light. It's at the airport. And that idea of having a plaza, a space where people mix, was the idea.
And Catherine, what you're doing with Wear
LACMA. We find designers.
Okay.
They don't have to be young. They just have to live in LA.
Okay.
And their business has to be in LA. They get inspired by the things that are in the museum that are part of our permanent collection. So they get inspired by everything from urban light to paintings to drawings, sculpture, ceramics. And they put them on clothing that you wear, or bags that you wear, or fragrance that you wear. So that's why we call it Wear LACMA.
Los Angeles is now an exciting place to be as an artist, for art collectors, for museum exhibits. I feel like you guys have brought LACMA to be the most relevant conglomerate of the best of Hollywood, of what Hollywood represents.
You come from New York, and I say this, you assume that the artists and the filmmakers, they're all hanging out in a cafe, drinking whatever they're drinking and talking. But you get to Los Angeles, and actually the art world and the film world were quite separate. that seemed a bit sad given the way artists are making films and filmmakers are interested in art. So I actually threw that out to the board. Why don't we have an event every year that's called Art and Film? Let's honor a filmmaker and an artist. Let's bring the communities together. And it's really worked. So by infusing the museum program with film, it's been an acknowledgement that film is the great art of the 20th century, right? It's there for all of us.
It is, as we say in Italy, l'uovo di Colombo, the egg of Columbus.
That's right.
It's like, Dad, nobody thought about this before,
Right.
but nobody did.
Yeah. Maybe that's because that was missing a little bit in LA, and so there was that desire to create it, and that was the impulse that led to inviting the Academy to join us and build the movie museum, which will be open in 2018. The Academy Museum of Motion Pictures will be our next door neighbor. So Art and Film will sit here at the center of Los Angeles with these two big museums, and that will, I think, further create that plaza that creative plaza.
Play it.
I grew up in Los Angeles, so I've come to this museum many, many times, and I love it. It's so beautiful, and it's so nice to have something like this in Los Angeles.
I'm a big supporter, at least mentally, of LACMA. I think Los Angeles needs to be very supportive of a museum. It shouldn't just be Paris and New York. It had LA of all places.
This museum is joining art and film. It's a really good program, and the fact that it's going to be, made even bigger is great.
I think a city really is only as rich and great as its support of the arts. Yeah, so it's definitely our duty as artists to give back to that community.
Art is Hollywood's new passion. Amid whims and the search for status symbols, art is certainly a reliable investment that stars don't want to miss out on. Hollywood villas are full of masterpieces of incalculable value. In his private art gallery, three-time Oscar winner Jack Nicholson has works by Picasso, Matisse, and Andy Warhol. While rumor has it that Steven Spielberg's collection is worth $240 million. Cinema and art mingle on the streets and in the houses of Los Angeles. But behind the spotlight, many influential personalities make sure that every city event is also an opportunity to do some good. Among them is one of my dearest friends, an incredibly strong woman who dedicates her time and relationships to charities, engaging stars and benefactors alike. Ladies and gentlemen, Gada Irani.
You are so giving. You have such a big heart. You're so wonderful. You care so much, and you're so passionate about children and refugees. How did this happen?
Yeah, because where I came from Syria. I was born in Syria. I was 17 years old, and always loved children, and always I feel with the poor people since I was young. So I felt when I got what I got, it's just now it's time to give.
What are the organizations which you work for? A lot of people make their own foundation. You've decided to commit yourself.
So I've been working with UNICEF because UNICEF is everywhere in the world. I go everywhere where I see that they need it. And now especially I'm working with the refugees. There is like so many kids, refugee Syrian kids.
And you created what you did, which didn't exist before, was the big UNICEF ball.
Exactly.
Gala. You made a way to make Hollywood and your passion, the
everyone
children
from Hollywood help us. There wasn't any UNICEF in Los Angeles. I created the whole UNICEF in Los Angeles, and everyone proud to help us. Every Hollywood, all the star, everyone from Hollywood, they come to our event. You know, now it's a big deal. UNICEF, it's a big deal, and our event they wait for it. We could.
How did this come to your mind? Do you pick up personally the phone to get David Beckham, to get Brad Pitt? I mean, you do.
I do the whole thing. I pick up everybody and I go to everyone and I do everything.
It's amazing. It's remarkable. To be so hands-on is so much more difficult than just signing a check, especially in this town. You encompass and overcome any differences, whether it's political or beliefs, from the Bushes to the Clintons to the Obamas to Michael Douglas, David Beckham, Barbra Streisand. And that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's so rare.
Yeah, everyone come to our house. It's open for everyone, politician, Hollywood, wherever, you know. We love people, so we don't care, you know. It's our house is open for everyone.
Hollywood has always been on the front line for the causes it believes in, and never misses an opportunity to promote them, whether directly, on a stage, or through film characters, which is what Leonardo DiCaprio did when he put himself out there and produced Before the Flood, a documentary on global warming. Or like Susan Sarandon, who besides fighting for years against the death penalty in the United States, played the role of a nun who assists a death row inmate in Dead Man Walking. Everyone chooses his or her own battles. My close friend Cheryl Saban, a philanthropist, psychologist, and writer, has a motto, and I decided to meet her and share it with you.
Hey, Cheryl. Hi, Joe. How are you, Bella? Thank you for having us. It's my pleasure. Welcome. You're beautiful.
You're beautiful. You're my Bella.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you.
I'm so glad to see you. Cheryl.
Joe.
The good you do will do you good is your motto.
Yes, it is. And I believe it wholeheartedly. I was raised like this, though.
You were raised like this where?
I was born in San Diego. Lower middle class family. We didn't have very much money, but what we did was we all pitched in. We gave to the community. I mean, we did it through our church when we were young. It was just part of life. We collected for people who didn't have as much as we did, and we didn't have that much, but that was built into life. And we're so grateful for it that we want to give back to help other people have a chance. Some of the things we do because we've been touched in some way by something in our life. And I think that happens with a lot of people. They give to an organization or a charity because they are affected in some way by that. Some people have cancer or Parkinson's, and so they're very giving to those organizations because it's meaningful to them. So rape is one of the ones that I care about deeply because I was raped when I was 18 years old. So I know exactly what these young women go through. And so this is one of the most important ones that I deal with. It takes a long time to come back from a violent experience. But as I was telling you, our industry, the entertainment industry, really shows up in a big way for that organization. And I'm very proud of the entire industry for caring so much about so many charitable organizations in our city.
Thank you so much for caring so much. Seriously.
Honestly, I wake up every day with gratitude on my lips, and I go to sleep every night with it in my heart because I know how lucky I am. I know.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
The stories of Hollywood are the stories of those who succeeded in climbing the hill of success, facing many hardships along the way. And then there's the stories of who reached the peak and decided to give back and help the less privileged. Here in Los Angeles, many do, through cinema and the arts, anonymously or on the front line. And I believe that's Hollywood's greatest power.